What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. And I tell you, there's some funky stuff going on. And ignore all the stuff in the background. As I said, last week we had new carpet installed in the house. Not in the office, as you can tell. But everything was moved into the office to make room. And so there's junk everywhere. Maybe this weekend, if the snowpocalypse does not happen, I can clean the garage and update this computer, which I basically only use for streaming. What's going on? Who we got? Man, everybody's names are jacked up. I'm not even... Okay, so we got Ball and Dirty. Ozzy Maciate. No, I ain't pronouncing that right. What up, Andrew? What up, D-Stiggy? I had appointments all afternoon, so I wasn't able to get back to you, bro. Hey, Cole. Good to see you, man. What you been doing? VH45. Once again, wrong names. Kamar. Good to see you. Walmart is empty. Where you at? Hey, Michael Clore. What's going on? Oh, Ken Ree's in the house. We got a good crowd, man. Starting off strong. You know what? Oh, yeah. I actually talked to my dad for about an hour today. He's down in the city, and he was talking about the same stuff. Okay, sounds good, brother. Sounds good. Let's see here. You guys want to do a giveaway? Let me set up a giveaway. Let me see if I can remember how to set up a giveaway. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for coming to the live show, and we'll do a giveaway. Listen, if you've won one of the previous giveaways and still haven't gotten your crap, be patient. It's probably in this office somewhere. Let me get this set up. And if you got any questions in the meantime, let me know. Hey, James and Garrett, welcome to the live show. I said, if you got any questions, just shout them out. We'll get in there. I don't think we've got anything in the Discord, but I can double check it. And by the way, everybody that signed up for the Discord, props and thanks. And how about let's do, you know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to set this up. And let's go. We'll go full 30 minutes. And I'm not extending it this time. Boom. Here we go. $150 gift card to Summit Racing coming out today. Get in there. The raffle is starting right now. Where we at? James Garrett. Playing around with Haltech UC10 Digital Dash and Rebel LS is wicked awesome. That's what I've heard, man. I'm anxious to get my hands on one, play with one. Just, maybe I need to come up to Williamsport and hang out with you for a day, and we can just fart around with the Rebel LS. I wanna dig into it. Working on my startup flex fuel tune. Got to pin my sensor pigtail. Good times, man. I love how easy it has become, or they've made it. Hey, Jazz, thanks for the videos. Thanks for coming to the live show. As I said, let me get the Discord open. And hold on, I got a burp. Okay, and I'm covered with dog hair, so black shirts, 3 dogs, bad idea. We'll double check. No new live show questions, but let's get the invite going. In case you are not in the Discord. We're blowing and going. Need more volume from me? Am I too low? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Andrew? Miss anything? Raffle. Oh yeah, kind of quiet. It says I'm peaking though. Here, maybe there we go. If I turn the mic to face me, it probably helps. Oh, my burp, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. That's what she said. Yeah, and if you go over and jump on the Discord, check out the TuneBot. Give it a try. I need to do some optimization, but essentially, I've got a bot that searches all of my videos and will look up videos. What the video is about. It's kind of crazy. Technology, man. Technology. It looks. I compiled the transcripts from all, like, I don't know, 700 videos. Has anyone hit a 640 foot-pound torque limit on E38 ECU? Dude, can I just don't... I don't, man. I wish N2LS was in here. N2LS, if you're in here, say something. Because I feel like we've addressed this, but I don't. Any ideas of what kind of mechanical upgrades I should do to my stock 2012 Silverado? Garrett, so the big question is what you're looking to achieve. Honestly, the biggest bang for the buck modification for an LS is going to be a camshaft. Start there. If you don't want to get into the top end, long tube headers and intake might pick you up a little bit, but really the camshaft is the catalyst for starting to make decent power on LSs. Camshaft followed by heads, and then at that point in time, you know, you probably already have long tubes and an intake on there. I'm kind of one of those things, like throttle body upgrades, it takes a while before it's worthwhile. Yeah, virtual torque on E38s for trans tuning. But Ken's having a funky issue where, I don't know. Ken, I need to dig into it. I've kind of dropped the ball on that one. So, remind me. It's been a busy couple weeks. I may still have your logs to look at. I need to look at and see what's going on. Any tips for tuning a turbo LS? Yeah, I mean, for one, start with the VE table. Is really critical whenever you're talking about turbo, because the last thing that you want to do is get into a transient state and not have that correct under boost. When it's leaning hard on the VE table, you don't want to have that lean spike. But it's like steps. It's like steps. So, you know, start out at, you know, limit yourself at 3,000 and try and keep it out of boost and work up in the RPMs first and then start working up in the boost. But as you fill out that table, your VE or your virtual VE table, if you go up to 3,000 and as you're getting close to that, you're seeing that you're getting progressively leaner, you're going to be leaner beyond that because you're forced induction. The airflow multiplies. And so if you have to add 10% here at 3,000, there's a good chance that you're going to need 15% at 4,000, 20% at 5,000, etc. So flesh out the table before you go out beyond 3,000. Don't push it beyond 3,000 until you're really fueled up at 3,000 and you have that shape. That shape, that curve is going to just get exacerbated. There we go. That's the one. Exasperated. Screw it. That curve's just going to get bigger. Okay? We're going to get a bigger curve. God, I can't talk tonight. Curve. And so, you know, just work in small increments. Okay? Worst thing that you can do on tuning a forced induction vehicle is to go out there and just wick the piss out of it. Go lean. Butt a ring together. Melt the cylinder down, etc. Cartech Texas saying, working on my fuel system. I've been hearing a lot about surge tanks. Can you wrap my head around how a stock pump in the tank can supply enough fuel to the surge tank with multiple pumps? Great question, Cartech Texas. Same thing, and it was a 255 in the tank going to the surge tank. The thing about it is, when you're pumping from the tank, you're not having to build pressure. So a surge tank does not have a regulator on the fuel line from the tank in the return. And so at times of low flow, that pump is just keeping that thing full and recycling the fuel back into your primary fuel tank. Then whenever it picks up and we're really making power, those two pumps deliver a lot of fuel. The one in the tank has no head pressure to push against, so it is flowing tons of volume. So all of those pumps are rated at generally 45 or 58 psi head pressure that they're bucking against the regulator to overcome the injector and the differential into the manifold. So you don't have that issue with the surge tank. It's just like pouring water from a pitcher into a bucket, whereas your surge tank pumps are like trying to pour water into an inflated balloon. Does that make sense? Yep, no pressure is the answer. You're on the right one. Come to a stop. Car went really rich and died. Injector duty cycle went to 0. Injector pulse width showed normal. So, pulse width would show normal. It went to 0 because you lost RPMs, and RPMs is part of the calculation for duty cycle. So, just lowered minimum fuel milligrams to get decel trims low enough. So, you're having some transient issues. Okay, Cole, one of the things that I don't like is messing with that minimum fuel milligrams table. That thing skews everything off whenever you adjust that value. Goodness gracious, I shouldn't have had a Dr. Pepper before we did this. That skews everything off, and so generally if you adjust that value, you have to do a full retune. And so maybe that. Definitely needs work in VE down low. Can min fuel milligrams be too low? No, I don't think that min fuel milligrams can be too... It can. Like, those adjustments, when you're adjusting that because you're having some funky transient stuff, you want to make those really, really small adjustments. Like, because that's already a small number. We're talking about a fraction of a number. And so you want to... Don't, like, if you're, say, just pulling numbers out there, 0.2, don't go all the way down to like 0.1. Go from 0.2 down to like 0.19, you know, so shrink your adjustments that you're making on that. Touch up the VE, kill the math, keep it in VE, touch up the VE, and then see if you can get the VE to act right with the adjustments that you've made. And then if you can, then bring the math back in and adjust it from there. But that's a very tough value to play with, and it really screws some stuff up. Now, as far as it being too low, at some point in time you're going to hit the minimum pulse width, and that's going to maintain a certain lower threshold. First time tuner, have tuned 5.3 running super rich, O2's open, verified fueling close, O2's are start fresh. I mean, since you're a first-time tuner, Mike, I would go ahead and start fresh and just work through the process again, and see, like, kind of go through the process again and see if you get to the same spot. This is where you're learning. This is the learning process. And it sounds kind of crazy, like, oh, I'm doing the same thing over. But there's a good chance that in the process you may have done something or accidentally tweaked something that threw everything off. Let's see. Game TV. I don't do bass tunes. I do full tunes remotely. I think I've got one spot available. Oh, yeah. If you went from 0.032 to 0.008, that's way too big of a shift. Way too big of a shift, Cole. So if it were 0.32, I wouldn't go any lower than 0.028 to start out. Surprised the thing runs with 0.008. And just keep in mind, the HP Tuners Forum has more bad information than good information. So, help! Mortimer says, help! 5th gen tuning, 10% larger fuel lobe on camshaft. Don't understand how to multiply your y-axis by 10%. Which table do you edit? I can't seem to edit the values on the y-axis. Okay, so the question, this gets a little bit funky, Mortimer, and honestly, I'm going to tell you the best way is to reach out to your cam manufacturer and ask them, because based on how they do it, a lot of times whenever we are running a 10% larger fuel lobe, we're actually running a smaller fuel lobe with a lash cap, and what it is the stock fuel lobe is a triangle, and we go over to like a star style, you know, a 5-point fuel lobe. And so what we're doing is we We make that star smaller than the triangle, lash it out with the lash cap, and then that thing is pulsing the pump more often. Honestly, and people are probably going to get mad and yell at me for telling you this, if you set up the values, the pulse values for your fuel pump from 3 to 5 and just run it, generally you don't really have to mess with anything on that side of it. So that's the nice thing, is whenever we're doing tuning, we're correcting for fueling issues. As long as the fueling pressure stays up, your high pressure stays up, like, I wouldn't get too bogged down in it. What's the rest of your mods? Like, I see too many times people overcomplicating the 10% larger fuel load stuff. Okay. Game TV, go to goatropegarage.com. Everything that you need to know is there. Denny Carwile, what's up, brother? My Camaro's been running rough when cold. Run grates after warm up. Could it be a bad wire getting damp? I doubt it. Most likely. So it's probably your cranking after start fueling is lean. This is what I see a lot of times. Whenever everything gets dialed in, it gets cold. It'll still start up, but until closed loop comes in there, I mean, honestly, Danny, if you got closed loop, that's whenever it's smoothing out, runs great after it's warmed up. Fire the thing up and watch like what you're commanding is probably going to be around 0.7 whenever it's cold, super rich, and make sure that you're actually getting close to that. You don't have to actually hit that number, but you're going to have to be in the sevens. So if we're looking at 0.70 lambda, you're going to have to, yeah, exactly. This is a very common thread that we're going through right now on a lot of the cars that I'm tuning is cold weather, cranking. And the worst part about it is it's really hard to capture data on cold starts, reliable data. And so it's one of those things that it's almost better to just go in and make small adjustments to not necessarily cranking VE because it's not really temperature based, but your fuel FA table, and look at the values below, say, 40 degrees and start bumping those up until you get a smoother fire up. Something else you can do is try and get closed loop on a little bit sooner, but the issue about it is closed loop doesn't work well whenever you're outside of operating range. That's generally why it doesn't kick on until 50 degrees or so. It's a tough one, because the thing about it is closed loop only works whenever we're to the point of commanding stoic. So it's a rough one. Cole, should I leave it at a 0.08? No, bump it. Bump it up. You don't have to leave it at 32, but bump it up, as I said, to like 0.028. Yeah, closed loop is great or terrible. Dude, I feel you, brother. Did a cam swap NSR Chupacabra on my 0648 Silverado. That's an interesting cam for that. Along with 410 gears and a fuel system with flex fuel. 62.5% E content. Okay, after street tuning, I'm seeing 305. I don't know. At the wheels, that's probably about right for a 4.8. I mean, what's the crank rating on those things stock? Stock 14 Silverado, cam specs unknown. That's fine. Came from the auction. Had to pull 60% from the VVE to get it to idle close. Thought fuel pump cam lobe size might be the issue. No. So here, more to more, what you're running into is it was never tuned properly. And so whenever we install a cam, we lose so much efficiency at idle. 60% sounds a bit crazy, but not, without knowing the specs, it's hard to tell. So it's not crazy that the lower section of the VVE has totally had to be a ton of fuel pulled out. And so most likely what happened is it has a MAF only tune on it. So it just needs a proper VVE tune on it. Oh, and it's 2014 Silverado, so You're going to get into virtual torque possibly, but the virtual torque tables for the 2014 should be perfectly fine with the cam. So don't get too caught up on that stuff. 285 stock, but mine has 240,000 miles. That is impressive. That is impressive. Oh, Ken, thanks for sharing some memberships. If you get one, get a free membership, make sure you thank Ken. And make sure you join the Discord because you get access to all the super secret stuff in Discord whenever you're a member. I might have some to give away too. Let me see. I've got 5 left for this month. Let's just go ahead and give them away. We'll make it 10. How's that sound? We'll just give away another 5 memberships. Everybody's a member. Remember, you got to do some funky stuff to turn it on. But, yeah. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see here. I haven't downloaded. I've only used HP Tuner's calculator. Seen about 305. I don't know if that's low or about right. So, 285 stock, 305 calculator from Torque. But the thing about it is, Ozzy, if your airflow model is not dialed in just spot on, the calculation in HP tuners can get skewed. So it could be skewed high, could be skewed low. Like I could make your truck show that makes 600 horsepower just by fudging your airflow values. So if the airflow is good, the tables are good, it should be somewhat, I mean, it's all math at the end of the day. You know, we're talking about, this is literally all math. So now I have a 5.7 Hemi. I changed the cam, 6.4 non-MDS, and phaser lockout. Do I need to tune? Phaser lock. Are you completely locked out? Yeah, you need a tune. So, I mean, yes. I'm trying to think, ATN, I'm trying to think of a world in which you could get away with not doing it. And based on everything you said, technically you probably don't. What year is your Hemi? Oh, yeah. If you've only tuned with short terms, there's a good chance that the airflow model, whenever you're getting into power enrichment's off still. And so those values may be skewed off a little bit. They may be a little bit low. So, it's at the end of the day, you've got the small V8. You're never going to be a dyno queen, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Just make the thing run and drive good and enjoy it. I mean, the thing's got 240,000 miles on it. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, yeah. Make sure you're getting in on the raffle. We've got 10 minutes left, folks. 10 minutes left on this raffle. There are only 15 of the 40 people in here that have joined the raffle for a $150 Summit gift card. And I'll tell you what, the nice thing about doing a Summit gift card is you actually get those quick. Unlike hats. So... let's see here. I see that HP Tuners list for diesel tuning. I can't find much info online about it. Know anything about it. Thinking about going with EasyLink or something like that. But I was wondering how capable HP Tuners. Okay, so is there anybody from HP Tuners watching this video right now? Where's the membership list? Who's in here? I don't know. I'm not even going to speak on it. I don't know enough about diesel. I don't mess with the diesel world. I don't know. Like, probably this day and age, it may be one of the better options. I would say 5 to 10 years ago, there was so many options out there that HP Tuners probably wouldn't be the one I'd go to for diesel tuning. But I'll be honest with you, EFI Live is basically cratered. They sold to a diesel company out of California. I don't think there's any proper development on that side of the world. That used to be the go-to for diesels. So, but as I said, I'm just not enough up on it. Team Overton, it's just ! Raffle. You'll see all the other people in the chat. Don't have to be a member. Anybody can join. But if you're a member, you get bonus tickets. Just saying. Just saying. Anybody and everybody, though, is welcome to join the raffle. I think I can even join the raffle. Let me see. What I need to start doing is, yeah. Hey, Chris, good to see you, brother. I saw you got one. Will it let me join the raffle? Yes. I tell you what. Since I'm in the raffle, I'm going to do something special. If I win the raffle, I will double the gift card and redraw it for somebody in the chat. How's that sound? Let me make sure. Okay. Okay, so Jesse says for the Duramax stuff, 5 LPs, HPs. Yeah, and I knew it was for the Duramax stuff. The Ford stuff is where I get a little bit questionable. I just don't know enough about that side of the world. I wish I could help you guys out more. Unfortunately, just... Okay, Linda says, I'm new to tuning. I have done the elite tuning classes, HP Academy, and a few others. Your videos help more than any of that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Listen, and there's a time and place for everything. And the thing about it is, I like the formats of Elite Tune, and I like the information that HP Academy puts out there. I go to HP Academy a lot to look up stuff. Like, they've got a new MIG welding, and I've been MIG welding for a long time, but there's always new tips and tricks that I can learn. And those guys are just really great. Those crazy Kiwis. ZL1 Chris, funny that you say that. I was actually thinking about coming down to Florida this weekend, but Ryan, look at you go, brother. Thank you. 20 gift memberships. If you get one, make sure and thank Ryan. Everybody, besides that, thank Ryan. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That's mind blowing. No, thank you for showing up to the live show, and make sure you get in on this. And let's go ahead and do this. Join the raffle, people. You've got 5 minutes left. And as I said, we're not extending it this time. And join the Discord if you haven't. We're at like 125 members now. Now, where was I? I got blown away. Oh, Chris was asking about when I was coming to Florida. I was thinking about coming down to Florida this weekend until the weather came in. And so, unfortunately, instead of coming to Florida and picking it up myself, I had to have my new Corvette shipped. And I suppose you people probably want to see this thing. Doop 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 doo. Anybody got any guesses on the new Corvette? John Conti, I've already had a C7Z, bro. New to tuning, got the 5.7 Hemi with neural network enabled. Do I have to do the VE math tuning? Nope. You only use neural networking whenever neural networking is enabled, John. And so it is just super complicated math, or VE tuning. ZR1, listen. I love the AEM widebands. Listen. ZR1 is one of my dream ones, but the true dream, okay, let me make sure, drum roll. Oh, the whiteboard is on the wrong screen. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Let me move the whiteboard. Why is it on this screen? I wonder. Okay, let's try this again. Is it going to work right this time? Why is it on this screen? What is going on? Holy heck. The problem is, here, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this. I'm just going to do it a different way. We're just going to do this the easy way. I apologize. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's go over to the whiteboard. There we go. Now we got infinity mirror. How do I get rid of my desktop? Okay. And... okay. So there's display 2. Okay, now we're on the correct display. Bear with me. Now let me move this over here. Okay, you guys ready? You ready? You ready? Right? Where's the chat window? What did I do with the chat window? I want to see your reactions. Oh yeah! Oh! Oh! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've wanted a C2 for so long. So long. It is a 65. Good call, Mike. Good call. Yeah, get it on the raffle, folks. We've got a little under 2 minutes. Yeah, Nassau blue, man, and it's bright blue interior, which is a little bit much. Let's see here. Yeah, that won't be in there long. The funny thing about this is L3 or Legend exclamation point raffle. The thing about this is, dude, it's got power windows. This is actually I bought this from the same guy I bought the Camaro from. Sucker, I'm making that guy rich, giving him all my money. Hey, Dale, how long will I keep it? This one I'm keeping for a long time. This one is going to take a lot longer. You guys probably won't even see this one on the channel for at least 6 months or so. So there's a lot that's going to go into this. Just know it'll be here next week, but it'll be a while before we actually do stuff on it. And so for one, we got to work on the tuning series. That's priority. We got some other stuff. We're going to be doing some power sports. Nah, it's just a 327 Willie Knox. I would not molest a big block car. Like, I'm going to molest... oh, did they, Mike? Did all the 65s have it? I would never molest something as rare as a big block car. So if it was a 396 car, there was no, thank you though. Thank you. I've already got a motor for it. So, and I'm hunting down an 8 HP because it will be 8 HP. So, okay, where I missed some stuff here. Okay, I think we got the answers to the AEM stuff. Saw you use VE flow factor graph tuning on Gen 5. Okay, so don't worry about that flow factor stuff, Mortimer. It still is not verified. Yeah. Followed your recommendation of Ford tuning. I'd like to see you do videos on Ford math tuning. Okay, project everything. And I've talked to those guys about the Ford tuning stuff, and it needs to be revised and kind of updated. Yes, Mike, there will be an 8 HP in it. Now, the thing about it is, I don't know if I'm going with an 8 HP 70 on that one, or if I'm going to step down to the 50 in the hopes. I'm 99% sure there's no way in hell that an 8 HP 70 will fit in a C2 Corvette. If you thought that the Camaro's transmission tunnel was narrow, there's a good chance if we have to go to the 70... we'd have to cut the tunnel out and glass in a new tunnel. I'll be doing turbo lambic again on that. On the transmission cross member, I was actually researching that the other day, since the transmission cross member is, man, what's with all these memberships? What up, TJ? Thank you, brother. Thank you, as always. The glow shift gauges, they work. I don't think there's much of an issue. So you got to realize most of these things are all built on the standard of the LSU 4.9. Let's see here. Oh, thanks, Legend. Get TH400 in with minor mods. Okay. Yeah, I've seen Russ EFI stuff. That dude's a madman. If you can get TH400 in there with minor mods, you definitely won't be able to get 70 in. While the 8HP70 is very close in size to the TH400, it is quite a bit bigger. And hey, well and Willie, welcome to the chat. Yeah, Russ EFI, that dude's been doing some crazy stuff. Yeah. Well, and I was kind of going around in circles. You know what? We'll talk about this for a couple minutes. Entries are reopened. I said I wasn't going to do it. Get your asses in on the raffle as quick as possible. I'm going to tell this story, then we're going to wrap it up. So, originally, Mike, I was thinking about going with the Roadster Shop chassis and just going all out on it. I just can't justify the price for what you get out of it. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Is it worth spending over $20,000 for the chassis? Yeah, the 8HP is just slightly bigger than the TH400. Yes, you do have to be present to win. So if you're not here and your name gets drawn, you're not going to win. But we're going to draw here in like 2 or 3 minutes. So I just want to give everybody that hadn't joined a chance to get their tickets. So I'm starting to is 8:31 on the clock down here. By the time the clock hits 8:35, we will shut down the raffle and do the drawing. And I'm extending it just because we got so many people in here and I want to give everybody a chance. So, and as I said, I entered my own drawing like an asshole. If I win, I will double the amount of the giveaway for you guys. I really hope I don't win. I got car parts to buy. Well, and the thing about it is, I don't think there'd be a bell housing issue. I think just the actual body of it. They make a conversion bell housing that shrinks it down to what is the 50 size. But I don't think the bell housing area is where it's going to be an issue. I think the actual body is it. Well, I'm not going to own it for 6 to 12 months. Just cut apart. Dude, 780, I love it. It's just money. Yeah, we're talking $30,000. The thing about it is, though, is that seems to be the one mod that really adds value to these things. I don't know. Dudes get so worked up over the fact that it's sitting on a Resto mod chassis. Whereas you could do a Van Steel complete setup. It replaces everything, converts to coilover. You know, you're not going to be able to run 355s on it. But the chrome plated. As much as I drive my projects, probably about right. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for stopping by there. Okay, we are at, you got 2 minutes to join the raffle, ! Raffle. Get in there. 2 minutes left, and we're going to wrap this up. Eight HP, man. Here's the thing. It's the 8HP is brutal because the transmission is so cheap, but to adapt it and control it is expensive. And so what would happen is, if to adapt it and control it got cheaper, that would result in the transmission becoming expensive. So you're talking about $4,000. About $4,000 is what I'd say it costs to do an 8HP. And I don't see that ever changing, because if the price comes down on the parts that you have to do to supplement to make it work, then the price is going to go up on transmissions, because more and more people the prices are going to go up on transmissions. Honestly, listen, Ozzy, if you're thinking about doing an 8HP, buy it now. If you can find one for $500 on Marketplace, go ahead and buy it. Throw it in your closet until you're done with college. Because by the time you're done with college, those things may be $1,500. Bro, ICT car guy, the year that YouTube actually makes more money than I spend on this crap, we'll do that. But if I paid for a chassis with my YouTube monies, it would take 2 years to get there, at least. Price is crazy. And the thing about it is I'm not going to be running this thing at SCCA events, so I don't need a Roadster shop chassis. And you're not really going to be able to get it any lower on that than you are on the stock chassis converted over to coilovers. You know, because you run into limitations. Your limitations is the body. Where you're going to tuck things. You can get about 2 inches. That's about it. Like, without crazy modifications and cutting a lot of fiberglass up. Okay, everybody, it's 8:35. We are now doing the drawing. The entries are closed. You've had ample opportunities. And we are going to pick a winner. Welding Willie! You still in here, Welding Willie? You gotta be present to win. Let's see your name. Welding Willie, you have won our gift card. Oh no. Oh no. Hopefully he's so excited he just can't type. Ha ha! Congratulations. Congratulations, bro. Okay, so since it's your first time, you don't know the rules. Pretty simple. Send me an email. info@goatropegarage. Give me your name. All that fun jazz. And I will send you a digital gift card to Summit Racing for $150. And this is what you get for showing up. Listen, I think... okay, I can't talk about it yet. Hopefully, I'm waiting on my contract from HP Tuners for 2026. Once I have that and it's signed, I will have some really cool things to talk about. I can't talk about them yet, but you're not going to want to miss the live shows because the live shows are going to be absolutely huge this year. Absolutely huge. So we're going to have some amazing guests. I can't. I want to make sure it's on paper. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Once it's on paper, it is a legally binding contract, and they have to hold up their end of it, and I have to hold up mine. I don't know, Ball and Dirty. You're going to have to stick around and find out. I don't know. Okay, listen, guys. I'm going to get back to it. You know the drill. Thanks. Great crowd tonight. Great crowd. Show up next Thursday. We'll have some fun. You know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. ABT. Always be tuning. Oh, as I slapped the mic. That was my mic drop. Bow!